It's a great day to crochet. Today's yarn of the day is Lovecrafts Paintbox yarn. Paintbox yarn is a 100-gram skein, 276 meters, and 100% acrylic. It's categorized as a 3-weight yarn. As you can see on the label, it's machine washable, tumble dry, and it's even dry cleanable. So let's take a closer look at this yarn. Whenever I feel this yarn, it feels really soft. I have noticed that some of the colors can vary in softness. This green color is not quite as soft as some of the other ones that I have. Let's see how many strands this Paintbox yarn is made out of. The Paintbox yarn is made out of 3 strands, and as you can see by the zigzag, they are twisted very tightly. No splitting when you crochet or knit with this yarn. One thing I was wondering about is it really a 3-weight yarn? So I'm going to insert a picture of the tool that Yarn Hag Ryan got for me to show you how to measure this yarn. On this tool, you wrap your yarn in between the grooves, which makes up an inch, and then you count how many wraps per inch the yarn is. Then you check below to see what weight the yarn is based upon how many wraps per inch. Since the Paintbox yarn is wrapped 11 times in an inch area, it's categorized as a DK weight, which is a 3-weight. One of the other yarns that I have that's comparable to the Paintbox yarn is the Brava yarn. Now the Brava yarn says that it is a premium acrylic, and the Paintbox yarn just says that it's acrylic. But as I've noticed, as I've worked up my samples and washed my samples and felt of this yarn, it's really similar. The Brava Sport Weight yarn is a 4-stranded yarn, and the Paintbox is a 3-stranded yarn, and that's really the only difference that I could find. I will put a link to my Brava yarn review at the end of this video. One of the things that I didn't do in my Brava yarn review that I should have done is used my wraps per inch tool, because once I measured that one, the Brava yarn was also wrapped 11 times per inch. So that means it's really not a sport weight. It's a DK weight, which is a number 3. I've worked up a sample of the Paintbox yarn so you could see how it works up in crochet. And then also I have the washed sample, and I noticed that this yarn softened up quite a bit after it's washed. So you can see the difference in the sample that was not washed and the sample that was washed in warm water and dried on high heat. I think it washed up really well. So the drapiness of this yarn before it's washed compared to after it's washed is significantly different. So I really like the way this yarn feels and the drapiness of it after it's washed and dried. When we compare the sample that's been washed here on top to the sample that is not washed behind it, you can see that it only shrank up just a tad, pretty much like all the normal acrylics. I did have one viewer that made a comment on my video for mine and Petra's yarn swap, because this is the yarn that Petra sent me, and that viewer seemed to feel like that this yarn doesn't hold up well. I've only washed it once and it looks pretty good, but the thing about yarn is you never know how it's going to hold up over time. On the Lovecrafts website, the Paintbox Simply DK yarn is $3 per skein and comes in a lot of great colors. I went ahead and pulled up the crochet.com website where the Brava Sport yarn is located, and it's $2.49 for a 100-gram skein. It also comes in a lot of great colors. One thing about the crochet.com website is you get free shipping on orders over $35, and the Brava Sport yarn is about 50 cents less per skein than the Paintbox yarn. Even though I do like the Paintbox yarn, to be honest, I will probably purchase the Brava yarn instead.